Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to one of our first scenes in the Shadows of Austin venue, Mage the Awakening. So today we are focusing on a Cabal Through the Looking Glass Investigations, who are meeting at Through the Looking Glass Investigations office space. They are on the second floor of a building that is in a strip mall. It's one of those two-story ones with the stairs outside going up to the second floor. Minimal parking lot in a forest, a lot out back. They're about 20 minutes away from the Concilium hangout, the Lazy Elephant, if they take the highway, or 23 minutes if they're willing to take the back roads instead. It's a good spot on a bright and beautiful day in Austin, I believe. And currently, Alice is the one in the building, just sitting behind the secretary's desk, uh, headphones on, dressed like the girl from Wonderland, and listening to some heavy metal.
Zabanya is currently she's reading a psychology book. Fuck it. She doesn't have any earbuds in. Is Alice's metal playing just on her like phone or whatever, or is that like on
No, she actually has one of those like not old school MP3 players, but she does have one of those iPod like devices currently with her. She doesn't keep it on her phone. It is not playing throughout the speakers here.
Damn. Alrighty. I figure Alice plays it high. Zabanya will actually kind of perk up and say, "Oh, is this a new band?"
She will pause for a moment, pull them out of her ears, fully look up. No, it's one of the older ones. I am reminiscing.
Oh, all right. Do you know, ironically, people that listen to metal music tend to be on the calmer side.
She tilts her head aside. I did not. That is something I will keep in mind. She kind of looks towards the door.
And just like that, what else do you think, everyone? It is such a hot day. What is everyone up to?
I am reading.
Listening to music and realizing we don't have a lot of business.
We really
Right.
fix that.
Yeah.
I heard there was a commotion at Concilium.
I heard about that too.
Perks up.
They
Possible.
mentioned a Tremere.
Oh.
Closes book.
Puts down case notes. Apparently you know more than I do.
Alice will turn off her iPod deliberately, slowly, set it gently onto the desk in front of herself. I was just a little curious and happened upon some information. It seems the rumor might be true. Many of the Tremere's possessions will be up for auction.
Yes, please. Yeah, definitely.
But what about the Tremere himself? Or itself? Herself? I don't know. Is there any chance we could speak to them?
From what little was passed around, the Tremere has moved on.
When you say moved on, is he dead?
The rumors weren't exactly clear.
Oh, it's a shame then.
The good news is that there might be a hollow up for grabs. In addition, someone did mention a vessel of some kind. I'm sure it's nothing.
It's a lot of things, I'm sure. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people will be gunning for that hollow.
I'm surprised there's not going to be more looking into the physical instruments that may or may not have been recovered.
Oh, I have interest in those. Though,
Hmm.
I'm not sure how thinly we can spread ourselves. As much as I would love to get piece of mm, a piece of this man's possessions or woman's possessions, I'm not sure. Hollow would be very good for our security and our quality of life.
I'm not sure we're going to have the funds for that sort of bid at this time.
Well, I think that we will be able to place some favors. Favors are always good. It might be a good way for us to get our name out there.
For services rendered, she says, looking at the computer screen in front of herself. You're suggesting we use this more as a way to advertise?
Indeed. Perfect way for publicity, whether it be good or bad.
Well, I don't see a problem with that at this time. I'm more than willing to put whatever resources the Mysterium has placed at my fingertips towards such an endeavor.
Mm,
What about you? She says, looking over at Zabanya. Her eyes are still that kind of distant, as if looking around you rather than looking at you.
Tim said he'd be right back. Tim said he'd be right back. Think you caught that?
And I'm right back.
There you go.
Sorry about that, y'all.
All good.
Was Zabanya spoken to?
Yes.
Yes, Alice. So they had mentioned that this would be a good way to get advertising. Alice mentioned she would be willing to put all the resources of the Mysterium that she has access to towards advertising through the auction, offering services. And then she looked to Zabanya to see what her thoughts on that would be, staring at her with her usual distant gaze, as if looking around Zabanya rather than at her.
Okay. She'll respond with, so are you proposing that we maybe hire ourselves out to study whatever the balls get what?
I mean, It would allow us to solve whatever mysteries this Tremere had uncovered.
It would also let us know what just certain things are. It's not a bad idea on the whole.
She looks over towards Aries, her lips curled into a half smile. Would our illustrious rung on the ladder have any sway or connection with reaching someone in higher standing in the concilium with our offer?
The last time they didn't like it too much when I had words with someone and brought back ashes. They were a little upset. So the short answer is no. He smiles.
Color me curious. What, pray tell, would the long answer be?
The long answer being interesting words such as reckless, headstrong, defiant, confrontational, mean were used in a long succession of words to describe my canter and personality, and that I need to temper such things in order to be of service to the latter.
I'd be very careful. Described are many symptoms of social personality disorder.
You use your fancy words, I just say I'm real. He smiles again.
Alice has a wide smile on her face. This is why you're our favorite member of the Silver Ladder. You don't have time for. She looks over at Zabanya. Fancy words.
She'll shrug. It wasn't an expert diagnosis. Though, if you would like me to diagnose you with something, we can talk about it at some point.
Oh, thank you. Get your textbook out of my head.
No promises.
So, have either of you made any inroads with any of the new arrivals to the Concilium?
I've been busy with personal matters. So I figured that you two being more proactive than me tend to have your pulse on such things.
By personal matters, are you referring more to Pornhub or business?
Sassy. Sassy. I love it. No, business. It has been a while though. He gives you a broad smile.
She'll uh, feign a blush at that and then look over at Zabanya. Well, what about you?
I had not assumed that I was going to be a member of the welcoming party, but she will put on this very over-exaggerated smile, and she will say, I, for one, would enjoy to welcome all of our new mages to our illustrious concilium.
It's the way you said it that was creepy, Zabanya.
This is me being nice and welcoming.
Just looks at you, stares like.
Alice looks back at Aries. If you recall, this is the reason why you chose me to be the secretary.
Good at that.
I think the exact words were sweet, cute, and innocent versus
And I believe your words about me were literally everything not that.
And there we have it, kids. Not that and cute and cheery.
She'll quirk her brow. Now we're going to add Cherry to the list. She looks over at the screen and starts typing. No, I'm adding it to my resume.
It's good. It shows personality and openness.
It also shows that I need to have a resume ready just in case something goes crazy.
Nothing's gonna go crazy.
Things are best when they go crazy. That
Creates business.
She shakes her head slightly. So, you consider normal to be bad and crazy to be good. I picked an interesting line of work.
Quiet people are alone with their thoughts. It's weird, odd, contemplative. These are things I am not. Quiet
Well,
means you're hiding something.
at least the truth is out. So, I have been making some inroads of my own, and I've heard fr- from on high that there's going to be, I believe, and I'm going to keep adding qualifiers. Most of those items are going to have high bids coming from the Guardians. She says, looking at Zabanya.
I'm still relatively new, but I can at least find out what's about them.
I could go back to the frat house and ask some questions, but we'll see what happens. Smiles.
How
I
are disputes settled in the frat house? She just wait,
Just gives you like this long. He takes his glasses off, just long, exasperated look. Like,
stairs.
I put forward my opinions. Things got very. What would okay? Things got very real very fast. Words were thrown around. The person with the biggest penis said, "I'm on top," and we're at a frat house. Short story.
Oh,
You're a poet, Aries. You
see,
live up to your you live up to your name.
I must clarify because depending on the frat house, literally measuring out dicks, I believe may be a very effective. They believe at least effective way of conflict resolution.
So maybe you could answer a question.
Perhaps
Who won, you or Solomon?
not me. Cracks his knuckles. I'll be around for round two at some point.
I'm sure Solomon will feel the same way.
It's quite all right. The size of your penis is not connected to your inherent masculinity.
When you say it like that, you make it sound like a deficiency. That I somehow failed myself as a man. Looking at it.
It
Well,
is
it depends. Is your failure to win in the frat house because of girth or length?
I
oh,
haven't decided yet. But more to the point, it's still things that we have to work in and work out.
Well, at least our city's not being overrun by the Free Council.
Thank God for small mercies. Kisses his rosary.
Aries, since when did you believe in gods, or are you praying to yourself?
Listen, it's not about what you use, but the intent. You should know that.
She tilts her head again, this time to the left. Oh, I should I?
I mean, it's.
What are you implying, good Sir Aries?
I'm not implying anything. I'm just being my usual self. It's usually the intent, and what your intent usually is manifests in mm, phenomena. I like that word.
So, I guess back to business. We are agreed that we need more customers. We agree that the hollow seems to be the best item to put a bid on, should it become available, and that we need to advertise our services to the concilium as a whole, because otherwise our door will be. She looks at the door. Well, it worked earlier.
Humble. Humble is good.
I was going to say all we have left.
Don't be such a party pooper. I believe that's what the Americans call it.
In the 80s.
Listen, I don't. It's hard. English is a weird language.
Oh, no, you're correct. It is a patchworking of many languages. It's a very difficult one to learn.
I mean, if you all just learned Spanish like I asked the first time, you wouldn't have this problem.
I
Yo
am.
soy quiero Taco Bell.
I will punch you in the throat, Alice. He says, smiling.
That wasn't no. No, wait. Wrong conjugation.
Yes.
Is what
Right. All right. Stop.
I'm
Not
learning
yes.
something.
Yes. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. He sighs again.
Donde está la baño? I've watched
Um,
two commercials. I think I'm getting a little bit better at one of those phrases.
it's one of those things. The language is when you feel it, it becomes more natural. And try not to translate in your head. Spanish is a feeling language, after all.
She looks over at Zabanya.
It is a very emotional language. Also relatively simple. Relatively. It's not English.
Shudders.
So, if neither of you have been looking into the recent concilium situation, and you've been attending more to personal matters, any potential leads for drumming up business in your personal lives?
We'll see. Once the paperwork gets back to me, I will be able to give you a more definitive answer. Jokes put aside.
Jokes aside, I can understand that.
I do believe that I have a few people that could be sent our way.
Oh,
Mostly mundane things, but they would keep the lights on.
is it another group of true believers in the supernatural asking us to find ghosts or incriminating evidence of ghosts?
Mm,
Hashtag is my husband cheating on me.
yes, that. However, if we want to go more for those cases too, there are ways to advertise for that. However, doing it simply out in the city may not be a good idea. Only because, only because the kind of people, the kind of sleepers that believe in things like that, they are on a fringe. They likely wouldn't get out very much. You can advertise something on the internet that may be a bit more useful.
Once again, Zabanya, you're proving why having a guardian is always a good thing.
Two thumbs up, doesn't actually smile. So it's just kind of like this blank look and two thumbs up. It's kind of weird.
Okay. What have you been up to, Miss Alice?
Uh, Keeping my ears to the ground when it comes to the concilium, and spending some time with my friends. As you know, I have some.
He just smiles.
Seriously, I've just been going to the arcade and trading some stories with Solomon.
Fun.
He's been sharing stories of your time spent together.
So popular. Seriously, he's a nice guy. Nice enough.
She smirks at that. No professional rivalry still?
So it's a professional rivalry. It doesn't mean we can't be polite. Silver ladders, of course. Someone has to be on top.
Oh my god, this is a sex thing.
Excuse me? What's that? No, it's not.
Are you certain?
Positive.
Does not believe.
I mean, he's giving you that Ted Fland look. It's just like, no.
I mean, if the two of you have some sort of unrequited, fiery passion for one another,
Sound worse than the telenovelas from home. Stop. Stop. What?
What can I say? I've read enough trash fiction and some romance novels to understand that men have their needs.
As do
Mm,
women, but we use colorful terms, don't we? See, I can be an ass too. Of
She's grinning at that. I don't know what you're talking about.
course you don't.
I 100% do.
Zabanya, you're like a walking encyclopedia. So, she looks around. I think that there's not going to be a lot of business today.
I want a
You,
milkshake.
I'm not opposed to a milkshake. However, I also have an idea.
Oh,
It seems that many of us don't. Some of the newer arrivals and some of the just others that have been here. Why don't we go out and make that a group effort? And when I say group effort, I mean you two do the talking and I just kind of look at them.
I mean, if you promise to breathe this time. It's a little unnerving when you just sort of look at people with that deadpan stare.
If you would like, I can try to be more emotional. That is fine with me. It's not as if I don't feel.
I didn't say you didn't fail. I just said that when you give people, as he kind of does his best impersonation of you, like this, it's unnerving.
Well,
I think it's quite flattering. You're giving me your full attention.
bef-
Dios
uh,
mijo.
before the two of you continue this, whatever it is we're doing, may I suggest you listen to your oracle for a moment and I make a prediction.
Okay,
I foresee milkshakes in our future. She says, getting up and grabbing her purse.
look at that
I
prediction.
From where?
I also prophesize that the lights are about to go off. She says, hitting the light switch as she stands in the doorway.
Look at this. She can start her own 1-800 number, charging people exorbitant amounts of money.
If you could see my face, you would see that I would be perturbed at the moment. Grabs her purse and starts walking out.
Alice picks up a backpack with a that looks like a Cheshire cat. Out of the top of it is sticking the hand grip for her SMG, and she just will uh, sweetly close it up, throw it over her shoulder, and walk out.
Aries grabs his briefcase like a normal person.
Uh, I just want to say for the record, anyone who's watching this, I am appalled to say this, but our silver ladder is the most normal person in this scene.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm supposed to be a little weird.
So, which car do the three of them take? Better question, I should say. Who has a car?
I have a car.
I guess we're getting in your car because you don't want to take my hoopty.
God damn it. Bad.
And Alice uses Uber. So, she will get in the car with the two of you.
Okay.
Uh, I will also point out that this prophet has not looked far enough into the future yet to know which ice cream restaurant we're going to.
That one. Prophecy fulfilled.
Or we can defy destiny and get chocolate.
What? No. This is how people die. We don't defy destiny. Wait.
Oh, I apologize. I see people do that all the time.
And you see where they're at.
Alice looks between them. I'm going to vote for the Greek god on this one. That destiny is not something we should try to thwart, for we are all entwined in its threads and unable to escape its grasp. Also, I really want ice cream.
It was long winded, but we got to the point.
The
I
equation.
love ice cream. Specifically a chocolate milkshake.
Alice has a pad of paper and a pen in hand, and she makes a check mark on the pad. So the Grand Oracle of Mystery doesn't work. And I think we got a good introduction scene here if we're down for ending it for them going for ice cream, and we can open up a larger scene, perhaps.
Yes, we can.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we will see you next time.